Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to make a little journal folio, I guess you could call it. Haven't made one exactly like this before, but we're going to give it a try. I'm going to use some of the product from the July E-Club kit. Now we do have, I think, maybe 3 or 4 July E-Club kits left, but I'm just going to use pieces of it. I'm going to use some of the paper pad, some of the frames and tags, some of the ephemera, and then maybe a couple of these beautiful little flowers. These are dimensional, but they're not real thick, so they'll go really good on our journal. And then we'll probably use some of this. Now, I'm not too big on pom-poms. I'll probably cut my pom-poms off and save them to maybe hang on the side of a journal. They would look cute hanging on the side of a journal. But I'll use this. I think that's a very pretty trim right there. So I'll use some of that. And then maybe our charm. So we'll see. I don't know what I will use. We may drag some more things out. But this is a gorgeous paper pad. This is the Flora number 5. Now I'm going to use these envelopes. These are just some that have been in my stash. And they are 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. But you can use any size envelopes that you have, or you can make your own envelopes. If you make envelopes, then make your own. Don't worry about getting them the same size that I do. Don't go out and buy some. Just use what you have. Okay. Now, I'm going to rescore this. You've got a score line right here. But I'm going to rescore it at probably, let's see. I think I'll rescore it at 1/4 of an inch. Maybe that will be enough. We'll see. So I have a little black line drawn down the center of this, or really it's not the center, but some on the 4-inch score line. And that way I can line my piece up at the top, and then I can line it up at the bottom. And I know that is right on that 4-inch. So then I'm just going to go 1/4 of an inch and give that a score. Just a little bit of a score. So then we'll have 2 score lines in there. And that's going to give us a little bit of a spine there. Okay. So I think I'm going to do all 4 of my envelopes this way. Hopefully we won't have to come back and rescore anything. I don't think we will, but just putting a score line in there for now, and we'll see. Now, if you have junk mail envelopes that you could cut down to this size, you can use those too. Don't throw anything away, or don't think, oh, I can't make that because I don't have those exact size envelopes that she does. You don't have to have them. Use what you have. Okay. So now what we're going to do is take one envelope. I'm going to turn it with the bottom side up. This is the front of the envelope. This is the back. Bottom side up. And let me see if I can mark that score line for you so you can see it. There we go. So this is the factory score line right down here. This is the score line that I made. And I'm going to put this one right at that score line. I'm not going to cover it up, but I'm going to put it right at it. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and, you can trim part of this off if you want, but I don't think it'll be a big deal because we're going to cover it anyway with paper. So just go ahead and put some glue on there. And then, like I said, put it right at the score line, but not over it. And glue that down. Okay. Then we're going to take another one. Going to do the same thing. My score line is right there, and I'm going to actually draw the line on my score line again because that helps me too. Helps you see where it is, and it helps me see where it is. So we're going to go right there. Now I'm gluing the bottom part of the envelope, not the part with the flap. I'm leaving the flap up here. And just getting them as straight as you can This one actually needs to come over a little bit. And as straight as you can. They don't have to be perfect, just straight as you can get them. Alright, so that's 3. Let's do one more. And I'm going to go ahead and mark my score line again because that makes it easier for me. And then put that down right there. There we go. Okay, so you have a little trail of 4 envelopes like this. So what they're going to do is fold up. Now, you're going to have your gussets. And then this little flap is going to come over to close them all, we hope. Did you notice how I said we hope? If it's not large enough to come over and close them all, we will go ahead and make something a little larger. As a matter of fact, I probably want to make it a little larger anyway because I have this other envelope little flap down there, and I don't want to have a double flap showing. But I'm going to have paper over that anyway, so it's not going to matter. But see, you've got a pretty good gusset in there. This one actually might have to be folded a little bit different. So that's what I was saying. I hope I've got enough. I think I'm going to refold this one a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch because this one needs to wrap all the way around. So on this one, we're going to score at 3/8. And 3/8 is that little score line right past your 1/4. Let's see if that works better. Let's go ahead and score it at 1/2 because that doesn't look like it's going to be enough anyway, because we're going to put some things in here and that's going to make it fill up pretty quick. So we'll go ahead and score that at 1/2. Now, yes, this does not come all the way down to where that envelope opens. Don't worry about that right now. We're not going to worry about that part. No, no, no. Okay. Now, that's going to give us plenty of room. That's why I said you may have to refold some of these when you get it put together. See, we're going to have plenty of room there now with that 1/2 inch. Now it's a matter of starting to cover everything with paper. Now you can have lots of pockets in here. You can have your pockets at the top. You can cover all this and have a pocket at the top, pockets here, wherever you want your pockets. I am going to have my pockets here. I think I'm going to cut all these little pieces off right here though. I don't really need those on there. Let's see. Let's see what scissors is going to be the easiest to cut these off with. Sometimes the larger ones work, sometimes the small ones work. That's why I have 5 pair over here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these little lips up here off, and then our little tabs, whatever they're called, and then we'll come back and start covering with paper. All right, there we go. We've got all of those cut off. Okay. All right, let's start covering with some paper. Let's see, now this is going to be basically the front. Need to see what you want on the front first. No, this piece is going to be the front. So let's go ahead and cover that one with a piece that we want to be the front cover. Isn't this paper pretty? And you know what? I think I'm going to go with this. I know that's a darker color, and I normally don't go with dark colors, but I kind of like that. Now, don't cover your spine part yet. We'll probably cover that with some lace and trims. So just cover from that score line to that score line. And if you want to just cut it, which I may do that, I think we're going to cut it. We're going to cut these at 5.5 by 5.5, and that way we'll have a little bit of the white showing, but that's okay. We can ink it or do whatever. So let's cut this at 5.5 first. And this at 5.5. Now these little pieces you can save. We may use those a little bit later. Okay, now which one did I say was going to be the front? Help me determine this. This is going to be the front right here. Now you can ink your pages up first if you want. Just going to put mine down. Don't even know if I want to ink this one. Oh, I like that as my front cover. And then we'll come up with a really pretty paper to put here for the flap over. And I should have put a magnet under there. We'll cover this with a magnet, but I can go ahead and put one on there anyway. I'm going to go ahead and put one on this side just so I'll have my magnet on there when I cover that, because if I don't do it now, I'll forget again. Now we have two different types of magnets. We have the basic gray magnets, which I absolutely love. They're very thin. They already have the sticky on them, so you don't have to worry about putting sticky on. And then we have the new, and I don't remember truthfully what the name of them are, but I'll put the link below. They're new ones, and I mean, I think they work well. I haven't used any of them yet. Now I am going to leave plenty of room here when I put that little magnet down there. I'm not going to fold it all the way over. I want to leave plenty of room to put different things in there, because we're going to make this a folio journal. So, okay. Now I can cover that little piece of magnet with a little piece of that paper. You'll never know it's there. Let's just go ahead and do that while I am thinking about it. Just take my little tiny punch. And put a little dot, 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 dot of glue. It's just the perfect size for that magnet. Now, this was a punch from Stamp It Up. I have no idea if they still have these. It is probably, let's see. It looks like it's a 3/8 inch punch. So you might can find one that's 3/8 inch. But it's perfect for those magnets. And see, now you can't even tell there's a magnet there. Okay, now then. Let's go ahead and start covering some of the other papers. Now, I may cover some of these off camera just to save a little bit of time. But you guys know exactly how to do your covering. So I'm not going to, that's not something that's earth-shattering to see, is it? All right, on this one, I'm going to cut it about right there. And then I think tall, it'll be 5.5. So I'll cover a couple of these and then we'll cover the rest of them off camera. Let's see. Because this inside is what you're going to have to cut a little bit different. And see, that's going to be perfect right there. So we're going to put this down. Cute, cute, cute. All right, now we have our pocket there. You can go ahead and punch a pull out if you want. And we'll probably come back and cover these with maybe some of these scraps. So that would slide right in there. As a matter of fact, I think I'll just go ahead and do it. Because that will slide right in there with no problem. Just the other side of this paper. Then we're not going to waste any of it. We're going to use it all. Whoops. if I don't throw it in the floor. Alright, just make sure that you don't get it over your fold. Oh, come on, get in there. You need to make sure that both folds are open. Okay, so I've got my factory fold, which is there. That's open, and then my other fold there. That's open. Good. That art glitter glue, today it's very, very, very hot and humid here. And art glitter glue just, it likes to just stick really fast. Let's see what we might put on the next page. Let's just go with a little contrast for the next page. Let me just measure, and then I can go ahead and cut these. I think we'll cut it, how big did I cut that one? 4 1/4. So we're going to cut it 4 1/4 wide and 5 1/2 tall. Now I'm putting my paper this way, up and down, because when I look at the journal, that's how I want it to look, like this. See, my patterns are running this way, but you know, if you want to do it a different way, you can. This is cute on the back side. Okay, then we'll just ink this up. We'll just ink this up. We'll put some glue on this, and we will slide that right in there. Just want to make sure don't go over my score line. There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cover these and cover the outsides, and then we'll be back and we'll start doing some other things to this journal. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and cover this flap. I've got all my pages covered. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to lay it down under there, and then I'm going to just draw around it. Start to say trim out around it, but I am going to trim it, but not yet. I'm going to draw around it first. Make sure that you put it the right way up. One time I did this, well, probably more than once, but one time that I can remember, I did this and I turned my paper the opposite way than what I needed to. So when I finished cutting it out, it actually fit upside down. It didn't fit right side up. So I had to cut another one because the underside of that paper didn't look so great with what I was working with. I've got all kinds of glue under my fingernail. Right, so that will go right there. And I'm going to trim a little bit of this off. So I'm just going to go around it and trim the slightest little bit off so that that will show a little bit of that white, just like the paper is on the pockets and things. So I'm just taking probably 1/8 of an inch or even 1/16 off. Just a tiny bit. And then we'll see if it works, and if it doesn't, we'll go back and we'll take a little bit more off. Okay, I think it works. This corner I got kind of out of whack there, so we're going to take a little bit more off down here and bring that corner up to kind of round it a little bit better, and then a little bit more down here. Okay, I like to cut a little at the time. You can always cut more, but you can't put back. That's perfect right there. My little corner still looks a little bit out of whack, but I'm going to take that little nub right there off, and I think it'll be good. Yep, that'll work. Now I'm going to go ahead and put mine over all of this to cover these folds. You don't have to do that. You can put it just up to here, and then cover this with some lace or something, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put mine all the way over and then just refold this. Emma, what do you think? I start telling you what I'm going to do, and then I'm like, well, am I going to do that or not? Yeah, I think I am. I just want to strengthen that, because since that is just a thin envelope, I'm going to strengthen it with this, and then I may come back and put lace over it too. Who knows? Okay. Now, I do have to fold those again. And the smart thing would be to wait till this dries to fold it. Wait till the glue dries. You know how impatient I am, so we were not waiting till the glue dries. Let's see. Now, I want to do this. I want to put this up and then just see where I need to make my other fold. Right there. Didn't want to fold it at the wrong spot. There we go. Okay. That looks good. Now, see, that will come over. Snap closed there. Got that contrast, but yet some of this color is in here, so isn't that cute? Okay. Now what we're going to do is cover this inside. And let's see, I may cover it with that. Will I? I think I will. It doesn't matter. And then that way I don't waste any paper. And I'm not going to go ahead and cover this in here. I'll probably just ink that or something, because I don't want to add another extra bulk to this. So I will probably just ink that inside. Now, my problem is I've got to see where I drew that line. Okay, let's see if this fits. If not, then we can trim it a little more. I'm going to trim a little more down at the bottom. All right, let's go ahead and put that on there. All right. A little more glue down in there where my magnet is. I didn't put enough around it. Just make sure you put lots of glue around your magnet so your paper sticks down well. There we go. Now, okay, so there we go so far. Now, I think I'll come back on the next video and we'll go ahead and put our pages in. We're going to put two, I think 2 signatures is all we'll put. One, no, we may put 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to put 3 signatures in here. And hopefully everything works out like I planned. So we're going to come back and put 3 signatures in here, and then we'll decorate it up with some of these beautiful goodies that came in the kit. Don't forget that we do have probably, I think maybe 2, unless they've sold just in the last little while, of these July E-Club kits left. And this is the paper, the cardstock that you get with it. Beautiful cardstock. And then of course the paper pad, all of this, and that. So we'll come back and do some more decorating, and we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button.